Let's say China.
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 China. China.
China. China.
There are no storm neighbors, and you can actually see Russia from land here in Alaska.
You go over to China. China.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Trump statement, tweeting out insults to Angela Merkel. What's he doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host.
Yes, hello, and welcome. I am James Andrews, and you are listening to So This Happened, the only news you need if your name is Bartholomew or Zachariah. It's Monday, unfortunately, the 24th of July 2017, and I'd like to start today off with a story that is both sad and creepy in equal parts. The headline reads, "Search for Lost Teddy Bear with Dead Son's Voice on it."
Oh, Daddy Andrews, it's me, your long dead son, wishing you a happy day.
And I'm sure that's not exactly what this teddy bear sounded like. And this is where the story gets sad. This was a young chap who died at 19 months old. They had a teddy bear with his voice on, and when you squeezed the hand, the child who deceased, I don't know if that's the right way to say it. I sound like an absolute arsehole right now, don't I, laughing at this? I'm not. It is quite creepy. This, they're looking for this teddy bear that when you squeeze its hand, it's nostalgia, perhaps. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to leave this story right here because it's going to get me in a lot of trouble, I can tell. And on to greener pastures, a family in Mexico is looking for a doll made with the hair of their dead child. That's not true. I made that. I don't know why I made that up, but I did. So, let me find something that is actually real news. And there I am talking about dead children for the one reason that I was trying to avoid talking about Donald Trump and Russia. But I literally can't because it's in the news. So today, Jared Kushner testified a closed-door testimony with a Senate panel about his contacts with Russia. And then after that, which I think lasted for about 2 hours, he gave a very brief statement on the steps of the White House where he said, "This is what I said. I didn't do anything wrong. I've never colluded with Russia. I don't know that anybody has." And then he went on to say something very interesting, which we haven't seen from Jared. And I know we've only ever heard him talk once before. But today, it seemed that he has got on board the Donald Trump is God train, which is what I like to call the Donald Trump is God train, where essentially anybody that is his aide or his surrogate essentially says Donald Trump is an absolutely spectacular human being. He has done nothing wrong. And Jared's version of that today came when, here's Jared.
Let me be very clear. I did not collude with Russia, nor do I know of anyone else in the campaign who did so. I had no improper contacts. I have not relied on Russian funds for my businesses. And I have been fully transparent in providing all requested information. Donald Trump had a better message and ran a smarter campaign, and that is why he won. Suggesting otherwise ridicules those who voted for him.
Okay, so a few takeaways from Jared's very brief, very scripted, by a lawyer, confession? No, what is it? It's not a confession. What is it? It's a statement. Jared's statement. Now, first off, and most interestingly, I think, he said that he did not rely on Russia to help his business. So he's not actually saying, I never took any money from Russia. I didn't rely on it. And that's sort of a clever legal spin on it, isn't it? Because he's not denying any Russian connection there. He's just saying they were not the sole reason my business was successful. I didn't rely on them for success. Okay, the second takeaway I got from that statement was Jared said, I've been completely transparent. Well, actually you haven't, Jared. You've only been transparent when people said, hey, you were in that meeting, by the way, with Don Jr. and others. And then he said, oh, yeah, I was. So, well, let me be transparent from now. And you sort of get a feeling that he's being transparent until the next meeting that he was in gets leaked. And he goes, yeah, well, that one too. I forgot about that one, but you're right, there was that one. And but that's it now. I am absolutely transparent. 100%. And then his version of, making Donald Trump be the godlike figure that they raise him up to be was Donald Trump, he ran my dad-in-law, he ran a better campaign, he had a better message, people liked him more, and, he won the election, and if you ridicule him, you're ridiculing anybody who voted for him. Okay, let's forget that he didn't win the popular vote by a long way, so he wasn't really loved by the people. But the suggestion there that if you even hint at the fact that Russia may have done something to the election, then you're ridiculing anybody that voted for Donald Trump. Complete and utter nonsense, isn't it? I mean, that's just... You're not at all. I mean, there are other reasons to ridicule people who voted for Donald Trump. Suggesting that Russia hacked the election isn't really one of those reasons. Because it's pretty much been confirmed by every intelligence agency in the US that, yes, Russia interfered with the 2016 election. Absolute fact. And the only person in the entire world who is denying that is Donald Trump himself, and therefore also his surrogates, everybody within the White House. They are literally the only people in the entire world saying, it may have been Russia, it may have been somebody else. Have we looked at Peru? I've heard they hack a lot of people in Peru. Bolivia also is a big one. Bolivia's and Alaska. Donald, that's part of America. Right, not Alaska, but somewhere else. The North Pole, yes, big hackers. And if you follow Donald Trump on Twitter at Real Donald Trump, if you don't, you should, because I've said it before, but I'll say it again. It's sort of equal parts comedy and tragedy. You read it and you start laughing, and then you read it again and go, fuck me, this is real. This is actually the President of the United States of America tweeting like a 10-year-old. And that might be a little bit generous. Tweeting like a 5-year-old. This is incredible. But still, it's great to read. And this weekend was pretty spectacular in the tweet storm department, where he really just went off. And my theory on that is this, that he told the Republican senators that we cannot leave Washington until we fix healthcare and repeal Obamacare. So you can almost see the second that came out of his mouth, his little brain went, oh, fuck, Donald, what did you just say? You were going to go play golf this weekend, then you were going to go get a pedicure, then a manicure. Fuck. So what he was doing was just sitting in the Oval Office, and he's just bored. So he's got his phone and he's going, oh, God, just send this out. I'll send that one out, and we'll do this one. Great. You know what? Let me write about Hillary Clinton again. I'm going to bring back the old crooked nickname, because I enjoyed that one quite a lot. And you know what? Let me give someone else a nickname. Who should it be? Oh, I know. Adam Schiff. What is sleazy? Yeah, sleazy Adam Schiff. Oh, I like that one. That's genius. And actually, just in time, Trump Vader is at the window in the studio. I can see him. He's just pouring himself a rather large gin and tonic by the looks of it, but it looks like he's ready. Are you... Trump Vader! Trump Vader! Are you ready to come in, mate? Yes? Brilliant. Okay, so, Trump Vader, come on. Hey, how the hell are you? You're good, yes. So, let me ask you, did you have a good weekend? No. Well, it was he had a terrible weekend. You were he was stuck inside the house. It's quite a big house, to be fair, Trump Vader. I mean, it's quite a nice house to be stuck in. Yeah, but you had your phone. He had his phone, so he was okay. Do you want to read one of the tweets then that you sent out? You do. All right, brilliant. So, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the Dark Lord of the GOP, Trump Vader.
So, why aren't the committees and investigators, and of course, our beleaguered AG, looking into Crooked Hillary's crimes and Russia relations?
Well, Trump Vader, did you really just call your buddy Jeff Sessions beleaguered? Do you know what that means? You're not sure. Do you want me to tell you what it means? I'll tell you what. Let me pull up the dictionary definition of beleaguered. I'll read it to you and then you can tell us all if that's what you meant. So, the dictionary definition of beleaguered is to surround oneself or beset, as with troubles. So is that what you mean? What? You don't understand what that means? It means, does Jeff Sessions have a lot of shit and bad stuff going on around him? Yeah, okay, that's it. Yep, okay, so that is what you meant then. You did actually mean that. Okay, so you really want to get rid of Jeff Sessions, don't you? Yep. And who are you going to put in his place? Who is it? Is it going to be Giuliani? Maybe. You're doing the so-so symbol, so maybe Giuliani. Well, folks, you heard it first. It may be Giuliani as AG. So you want he wants his round of applause. So, ladies and gentlemen, he was here and he lives for the round of applause. He needs the attention. So, ladies and gentlemen, Trump Vader. Okay, that's ridiculous. Okay, whenever you're finished, folks. Okay. All right. Well. He was here, and apparently you loved the fact that he was here. So, we only have a few minutes left, but I do just want to dig into this whole Jeff Sessions thing just a little bit more, if I may. And you don't really have a choice. Well, I suppose you do. You could hit stop if you don't want to, but I'm going to talk about Jeff Sessions for just a minute. Now, we have no great love for Jeff Sessions on this show. That is no secret. But apparently Donald Trump has no great love for Jeff Sessions anymore either. And what this shows, and people around Donald Trump have got to be thinking the same thing right now. That this man doesn't really hold loyalty in much high regard. Even though the whole James Comey thing, asking Comey to pledge loyalty to Donald Trump, made such a big news. But the reality is, Donald Trump doesn't give a fuck whether you're loyal to him or not. Jeff Sessions, this was the man who first came out and said, yes, I will support Donald Trump for president. Sessions was one of the first senators to do that, when everyone else sort of went, that's a funny fucking joke. And even now people are going, that's a funny fucking joke. But way back then, Jeff Sessions was one of the first people to say, yep, you've got my vote, I am on your side, I have your back, Donnie. And now, just 6 short months after Donald Trump has been president, Jeff Sessions is now not the favoured son anymore. And in fact, he's beleaguered. And you know what? I wouldn't have even given him a job if I'd known he was going to do what he did. So, all these other people around Donald Trump, besides his family, besides Jared, Ivanka, Eric, Donnie, and the curly-haired one that he doesn't even really know he has as a child, and then his young son, who he absolutely has no idea who that is. But all these other people, these aides, these people that have been given positions, have got to be looking at this going, my God, at any time I could get fired as well, or he could start tweeting nasty things about me. And this is where I want to get a little bit inside Donald Trump's head. And I don't want to give the man too much credit for being smart, but if he is doing this to make people even more loyal, then it may well work. Because what's now happening is, anytime somebody disagrees with Donald Trump, who is, within his circle, he tweets about them and they end up either resigning or getting fired. So what does that tell everybody else in that circle? Well, hell, you better not disagree with the man, because if you do, you're going to get fired. And what does that create? Well, it creates a massive environment of fear. But as we know, fear is one of the best ways to control people. Because when people are scared, they'll do anything to, not have their worst fears come true. And in this case, it's, getting fired from the White House. So wait, if I just agree with the man with red hair, not Ronald McDonald, but the other clown, then I won't get fired. So yes, whatever you say, Donald, is absolutely true. And there is something for you to think about on this Monday. And thanks very much for listening, and we will chat again tomorrow. And have a great evening. Goodbye.